Hey, hello leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr. and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So today we're going to open up the vault again. We're going to go back to Season 1, Episode 71 originally, and we're going to talk about how to basically avoid or save yourself or stand up against leadership temptations. Because we get put in a lot of different situations as leaders that can be very tempting to possibly do the wrong thing or something that's not quite right. And today, I'm going to give you the tools to help you stand up against these leadership temptations. Here we go. Hello. Have you ever noticed that being in a leadership role can really put you in some difficult situations quite often? I mean, there always seems to be somebody or something tempting you to stray off course and do things that aren't quite right. You know what I mean? Well, today we're going to talk about how leadership temptations can be very dangerous if we give in to them, and how we as leaders can help each other. If you're new to this show, this is the 5-minute leadership show delivered to you 6 days a week that is designed specifically to help mid-level leaders and team leaders by talking about your common leadership challenges and offering encouraging tips to help you and your team run to your challenges. Before you forget, please be sure to subscribe and/or enable your Alexa flash briefing so you never miss another episode. So let's dive into today's challenge of leadership temptations. Well, chances are good that if you've been in a leadership role for more than a week, you've probably experienced temptations from a various number of sources. It's almost comical, but there never seems to be a shortage of bad temptations for leaders. And these can range from small favors for team members to major unethical, under-the-table kind of deals. It seems the earlier you are in your career as a leader, the more plentiful the temptations are. Everyone and everything seems to be tempting you to see just how far you'll go over the line. If we fall prey to our temptations, it could lead to very bad outcomes. I'm going through a men's study at my church, and we are studying the book of James, specifically the Francis Chan study. Man, I'll tell you what, this study is like getting kicked in the gut every week. But Chan has a way of really simplifying biblical truth and making it so applicable to everyone's lives. James 1:14 talks about how we are tempted by our own desires. Did you catch that? James says that each one of us is tempted when we are lured and enticed by our own desire. Now, that kind of puts things in a different perspective, doesn't it? We are tempted by our own desires. James continues by saying that when our own desire is conceived, it gives birth to sin, which leads to death. Okay, now that's a bit deep, but let's break it down a little bit and compare it to leadership temptation. If we as leaders are tempted by our own desires, and if we give in to them, it'll lead to certain career failure. Now, that may seem a bit harsh, but it all comes down to how we are going to react when we are tempted. Will you give in or will you turn away? If you have any experience with giving in to bad temptations as a leader, you can probably attest that it didn't turn out very well over time. Well, the cool thing is most leaders know how common it is to be tempted by difficult choices and unethical dilemmas. And the best way for us not to fall prey to our temptations is to seek out other leaders who we respect. This may be a peer or a senior leader, or you know what? It might even be a leader who has less experience than you. The point is to have other leaders around you that you can talk to when you feel the pressure that comes with temptation. I recently talked about the importance of accountability and mentorship on an earlier episode. And believe me, when temptation comes knocking on your door, you most definitely need somebody to talk to. So here's probably the best piece of advice I can give you today on temptation. If and when you are tempted, the worst thing you can do is hold it inside and think you can get through it on your own. When we keep things inside, especially strong temptations, we become very weak. And based on the scripture in James, when we give in to our temptation, it leads to very bad things. We need others to talk to and share our temptations and struggles with them. Whatever we are being tempted by, it has less power power over us when we share it with others. And you know, when we share our struggles and temptations with others, we quickly discover we are not alone. Other leaders struggle with the same things. Other leaders can relate to us. Other leaders are just like us, and many are tempted with the same exact things. We can help each other through the temptations and struggles. So, the bottom line is, don't try to conquer your temptations in your leadership journey alone. Talk to others and confide in others to learn from them and grow together as leaders. Your team needs you to stay strong in order for you to lead them well. And that means getting through your temptations without giving in to them. And by the way, if you can't find anyone to talk to, you can always call or email me. I'm here for you. Well, that's a wrap for today. As always, be sure to subscribe and or enable your Alexa flash briefing. And if you like this episode, please leave me a 5-star review and share this briefing with coworkers, your HR directors, and your CEOs. And talk to them about having me come into your organization for some training. Feel free to contact me directly at Paul Grau, that's PaulGrau, at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Thank you, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges.